For the beginning, we really, like they said, we don't know much about either or, so there'll probably be the regular bans. May see the Amumu out, some Kha'Zix, there it is, Kassadin, so that's going to be a most likely targeted. Syndra as well.
Yeah, that's these guys did their research in all honesty, because eHamda doesn't have a ranked history to pull from except the 17 ranked games his team has played, and in the majority of those, he played Syndra, one of those things that you can perfect in hundreds and hundreds of normal games, and I guess they kind of feared it because not many people play that, and that's more of a thing. We're not used to playing against it. It's not necessarily that they're afraid of it, but they don't want to get caught off guard.
It is. You know, throws out some of that crowd control. You may not be expecting it, so good ban there, playing it safe. Jace, the pickup, he's been seen in mid and could be seen in the top lane here.
I feel like it's mid. I mean, that seems like the evolution of Jace. Every time we've been seeing him, that mid lane Jace who just gets the blue buff, stacks AD, sometimes doesn't even need boots and just nukes the crap out of the enemy team has been so effective.
It's scary. ADs are picking up so hard, and that Amumu is there. MF is still on the board. And actually, they're going to quickly switch that, leave Amumu to Jambo. So that is the jungler picking his role. They've shown AD and jungle.
Seems pretty standard for them. It's interesting that they picked the Amumu and didn't decide to combo it with the MF. That's one of the famous combos that really happened. We saw it 5 games in a row in the OGN Champion Series during their quarterfinals, and it worked really well for them. But then the teams that have been doing it in this tournament alone, Misfortune's been getting ran off and ran out of a lot of team fights, so it's slightly riskier, and they're going for the highly mobile Ezreal. But right across the board, that's going to be a killer bottom lane for the Salabar with Misfortune and Blitzcrank. That's about as much base health you can get on a bot lane combo.
So with that, you know, we were talking, Freak and I were talking earlier about the Crepo and how he plays Leona. In that first level 1 and 2, you want to just bang it out and try and get yourself a kill, especially if you're against the Sona. What do these guys look to do? Is it early, get that first grab and just zone them?
The biggest thing with Blitzcrank players, and the biggest complaint from people playing against Blitzcrank, is it's not even the hook. It's the fact that he has so much base stats that if he just runs at you at level 1 in the lane, you have to go the other direction. Because if you fight him, he's probably going to beat you up in the trade. And especially with someone like Ezreal, that's what we're going to have to look for. Whether Azure can turn something around based on that early game aggression. We saw some 3-man bottom lane camps in this tournament as well, already on the first day. But they might want to do something, because that's a very aggressive signal picking those two.
And Azure coming in with a team that may never lose an objective.
Oh dear. If they want to combo things, and here's the crazy thing, because Amumu has the smite, and then the two others, they have to communicate. It's like, okay, spike it.
Spike now.
3,000, because that's about how much true damage they can do with the smite, consume, and feast from Cho'Gath.
A little bit more tank being brought in. Looks like we could have a Singe in this game as they hover on that, really to pick their last two. As we look to the other side, the AP mid still waiting for Azure as well, so they can counter the entire comp possibly.
It's going to be very dangerous if they decide to go with that Singed. Singed is quite weak against sustained slows, and nobody sustains slows better than Nunu. So if he's looking to pick that, he's really going to have to get way far ahead, because they'll be able to chase the Singed if they have the Nunu slowing them down, which they already do, and they've locked it in. So that's, you know, Hirshin, a mid player by trade, going up in that top lane. I wonder if he knows the matchups in this case. It's not going to be a lane matchup, but in team fights and in general, he's going to be very pressed to do any good work.
What are we looking for the mid here? It doesn't look like they'd want to go with a cat. There's too much to disrupt. Maybe something, well, I'm a liar.
They're going to go with a cat. The thing is, they know they're laning up against Jace, and Katarina, if played properly, can dodge almost every shock blast with the Shunpo if she decides to. It's still an aggressive pick, and they're going to hopefully do a lot of trading along here, because Bloodwater, unless they're completely screwing with us, Bloodwater was a support for CLG Black before he joined this team, and Demonlo was an AD, but right now, everyone is on different things. I know nothing here is, they're trading now. They're just messing with us.
So yeah, that Katarina pick, the only reason I would say no is there's just so much to stop it. You can get popped up, you can get thrown, you can get knocked up by Power Fist, you can get grabbed out of it. There's a lot. Hammer from Jace. Four of those members have a way to stop that. But the initiation comes from Curse of the Sad Mummy. So it's almost got to be quick and, you know, not miss an inch.
I would completely agree with you if it was before the Katarina rework. She's much less reliant on channeling that ultimate now.
Okay.
So with all these team comps, I actually am very interested in this game, because there is such a small knowledge base about these two guys, and I'm pretty confident one of them is going to move on to the next round at least.
Yeah.
Hey, they could both not make it. This is not like saying I think one of them is going to win the game.
True. No, I know. I was gonna catch you on that, but it's possible.
I worded it properly.
You did.
Yeah.
You did. So we'll have to see as they load into the game. We have Azure versus the Salad Bar. Like I said, this is the final food-oriented team in the tournament. We've had Meat Playground, Falafel Gaming,
Yeah.
and the Salad Bar coming in here. And everybody.
So they're 1 for 1 so far with moving on. Meat
Yeah.
Playground managed to make it through.
Yep.
But Falafel Gaming was no more.
Everybody likes the Salad Bar, so if we don't have it on the next day, it's going to be detrimental.
Yeah, one last tidbit of information here. St. Vicious said they have scrimmed the Salad Bar. It was 30-1. So we'll see if they've picked it up since then. Obviously, taking the transition from normal games to tryharding is a tough one, but they've had the time to do it. They seem to have done well in the online qualifier. Now they're running out of the base.
All right, so we saw a lot of APs from eHamda during the qualifiers. Looks like he does transfer over to that Jace, as many have been liking the damage, liking the blue buff, as you said, and possibly early no boots. It's just an easy way to take out that mid and win a lane. Use that Jace gate to get around the map. We're going to see them hiding in that top fog of war, chat, and it looks like the 140 invade.
And this is a good aggressive play by Azure here. There's no early wards on this side of the map placed by the Salad Bar. And I think you're right. If you're going to wait in that brush, you're generally waiting for the delayed invade. But I wonder if anyone's going to be there because the Salad Bar is invading the red buff as well. And there's no way Azure knows they were there because they haven't put down any wards of their own.
Nunu going all the way up top to make sure he hasn't seen it all. They are going to gather. Maybe when Nunu gets there, they will continue. And yes, right as Nunu gets there, they start to move. Flag toss won't give them full vision to the right. That's not going to help them too much. And they go to Tribush, chat. They could continuously go to the blue here or wait for just him to go top.
This could be our first level 1 fight that we get to see because Jarvan seems like he's most definitely starting at blue buff. They feel like they've scouted sufficiently. They have exit wards in the jungle that they've managed to evade. There's no idea that he's here. They're coming in for Singed.
There's Singed right there. The Ghost is off. He does not have flash in. As you said before, the best one to slow down a Singed is a Nunu, and it works 100%, chat. First blood going to Cho'Gath.
Really clever play by Azure there, and now they're going to move in for the blue buff. They have to make a quick audible on the other side. Jarvan running in for his red buff, but a great start for Azure Gaming.
Yeah, completely given to him. They have to concede that top side of the jungle, and that's going to hurt him a lot. Everybody got a piece of that on the scoreboard.
So everyone going to be able to pick up a few extra health potions or even just that little bit of experience they get for that kill. Going to give them a quick little edge in all those lanes. And on top of all this, I feel like we got a lane swap as well, so Singed's day is not getting any easier as he's got a lane against Ezreal and Nunu up top.
Do you think that occurred or caused the lane swap to happen? Do you think it was already there? Because they were there in the position for blue.
I think it was planned to begin with. It's much easier to do an invade like that if your AD carry and support are able to stay near. Cho'Gath also had a teleport in case he would have needed to get down to the bot lane if there was some kind of extended fight, so I would definitely say that was premeditated.
We have the ping going down onto 0. They see that this jungle invasion trying to go down. Cho'Gath coming up onto that, and they may pinch him, but Cho'Gath now finds himself pinched in a 4v1 if he goes in all the way. He actually walks past Ghost. Ghost was focusing on the blue buff with no cooldown, so he could not pop up Cho, and they are just increasing the advantage now.
That is a great development by them actually there. Able to pick up double buffs for himself. That is Ghost 0 of the Salad Bar's jungle. Despite losing his own blue buff, he's still going to be a threat to gank on Jarvan.
And also, you know, chat, we poked this early in another game. A lot of flasks versus that potion start. What's the factor there?
So here we go. There's 3 flasks on the Salad Bar and 1 flask on Azure Gaming. Right off the bat, you're slightly weaker if you invest in the flask because you're paying for that refunding potion. So right now, they're going to have to be a little careful in lanes, but if they can extend the laning phase for a long duration of time and kind of stop the teamfights from happening, it might be good for them.
Hirshin just super pushed into his turret, and it's the same story bottom lane.
Mid.
See Jarvan hovering just a tad there. Looks like he is forced to back off. Katarina has a wave coming, and they considered that just an easy shun pull away. Would it be a wasted gank? Jarvan kind of just hanging out in the jungle right now. Looks like he's kind of wavering a top, or a gank.
Yeah, so I believe Jarvan was spotted about 20 seconds ago running into the jungle. They kind of know he's there, which is why you can see the top lane, Ezreal and Nunu, being a little bit careful. They spot him again, no more mysteries, and that gank's not going to work.
The ping goes down. Still aggressive push on the top lane. It's great map vision and awareness coming from Azure here as they want to get the aggression on the lanes back. They want to cause trouble for Jarvan so they can start to grab that upper hand.
Let's see if the bottom lane's going to be able to do anything because Nothing here, despite getting that first blood, is really hard pressed to get anything. Both of these 1v2 lanes actually are having a really, really hard time. 8 minion kills and 2 minion kills across the board on Singe. So
2 kind of hurts.
those 2v1 lanes, two minion kills is kind of low for 4.5 minutes into the game.
Considering you get a minion wave every 30 seconds, that is quite low. At 5 minutes, you can have 50 minions in the game. And we can see the AD carries are already at 33. So just a little back and forth damage they're trading is causing them to miss some of that, the minion creep score.
You might have to check your math. I don't know if you can have 50 at 5 minutes, but it's close.
Yeah, it could get them all. Do it.
We're going to check this later.
All right, do it. There's a chart
fight
on
bottom.
League Wiki. Nothing here, getting some damage taken down, and he looks like he's going to force to back off, but he drew an Ignite out, so he's a little bit safer considering, but once this wave gets to the tower, it's that safeness goes away.
Safeness is gone. There's nothing you can do. And in all honesty, this game has turned fairly passive. They put a ton of wards out after the initial invade, and they haven't been able to get much through yet. Both the solo laners that were in the 1v2s have been against it, and now here's potentially action. Jarvan coming up.
Demon Lol just in a bad position here. The final hits is going to take him down. Finally tied up 1-1 at 6 minutes.
So the Salad Bar coming back strong, not getting rattled after that first blood. I know in the last matchup we had between Pulse, when they lost that 2-man tower dive and gave Twitch the double kill at level 1 in the bottom lane, they're just, you could see in the cameras, they were just drained. When that happened to the Salad Bar right here, they picked up their hats and they just kept on going because keeping in the game, keeping those minion kills up was really effective for them.
Cat pushing up on this mid, possibly going to see the roam coming in here from Shousters. He is now level 6, so as he pushes that lane, actually he's going to get ganked here by Ghost Zero. This could be an easy walkout. He actually, oh no, I thought he shunned Poed to him, tried to hit him before he did the flag toss, but no, it's just a spin.
Ehamda unfortunately missed his shock blast on top of that, but that was not a gank that was going to kill.
Right.
If anything, that was a gank that was going to harass Katarina back and get her in a little bit of trouble. Shouster actually completely out of health potions in this middle lane, and I have to say, you do have to be very careful of Ehamda's Jace. Every AD Jace we've seen in this tournament has really wrecked, as also bottom lane. Go see her coming down.
Yeah, Jarvan actually has to turn away. He sees them backing up, and in about, we checked at 4 minutes, now it's 7 minutes. Singe has grabbed 3 CS.
He's keeping about 1 every minute and 20 seconds.
Some or so.
It's a bad clip,
It's a little painful. And when we saw the Xin and a, what was it, Xin and Shen top earlier, didn't really work out for him because they were trading the farm. We did see an Olaf in another game who was actually 59 CS at the end of the game, and he was wrecking house. So it is possible if you get the right situation and the right build in. But right now, 5 CS isn't helping anybody.
And they're trying to help him in this lane right now. You can see Jace roaming up to the top lane, but the lane is pushed at one of the worst possible times. They ping on him as well, so he's sat. I believe they just realized he was gone because mid lane was vacant, and they can't do much to help Hirshin here. It's so difficult for them right now.
Is it safe to say that that's not the worst person to be having a hard time right now? Because you have a Jarvan, you have a Jace, you still have a bit of tank, and in late game, Singe is still going to be able to stay alive in some of these fights.
Normally, I'd say maybe, but I think it's the worst
person.
It's a little too.
Oh,
I think it's the worst person to not have farm. Oh, Hook actually lands bottom lane.
And they are going to be on to nothing here. He's very low on mana. He's used those abilities. The double up won't match it. And he gets away with about 150 health.
And just to get back to this, Singed is nothing if he can't run in. And if he never gets tanky, he's going to die running through a Nunu ultimate or getting a Mumu ultimate or just by auxiliary damage from Katarina just bouncing around. It's really, really bad to have him this far behind this early.
And there's the teleport back in from Cho'Gath. Still, the Brunch trying to get in there, Salad Bar rather, trying to get in there and just continuously take these buffs, not letting them get either one, the second buff taken away.
I almost want to say that nothing here being an AD player is better preparing him to play 1v2 lane than Hirshin's experience as a mid player. Because as a mid player, you almost never lane against 2 people, and he just doesn't seem to know how to handle it. He probably played a bunch of Singed, did quite well, because if he gets ahead in that 1v1, he can crush. But against these competitive teams that have the strategies, they knew exactly what to throw down against him with that lane swap. And 7 minions at 9 minutes now, he's getting nothing.
I'm going to go ahead and say that not many people lane swap in normals, Chad.
I'm going to say that almost nobody does.
Almost nobody lane swaps in normals. That could be.
Not even going to challenge you on that one. I think that's a good analysis.
That'll be my one for the day. I'm done on analysis. Thank you. So we see Mumu kind of getting in here. He did have his blue buff stolen, so he says thank you very much.
Yeah, a lot of counter buff invading going on here. Able to probably pick up this blue buff entirely. I'm really surprised that the ward coverage just fell naturally for DJ Lambo to run in there. It could have been intentional, and it would have been quite impressive if they somehow timed those wards, but I have a feeling he just lucked into getting that blue buff for free.
Yeah, kind of walked over there, had the time on it, bam. And we look at top lane a little bit on that push. Not too much aggression on any turret, but that one, they have been really just putting that hurt down 13 CS to now almost that 50 CS of nothing here, and that's going to be a big factor, as we said before, you know, kind of considering the fact of Shen Singed having his ultimate and being able to live in fights. It still can't happen if he does not get that farm, and 13 is the way it can go down.
Yeah, eHamda actually was telling me that he wouldn't have wanted to play on this ranked team unless he could play mid, so Hirshin got bullied into the top lane. So eHamda's having a great time.
Yeah.
He's up 25 minion kills onto Shousters, and he's crushing, but because he's forced his friend on a top lane, that one's not working out as well.
So Cho'Gath definitely building and itemizing for that armor defense in that bottom lane. Ezreal too quick, BF sword. And I've seen a lot of Ezreal's, I don't know about your games, with the static shiv lately.
Oh, absolutely. One of Ezreal's big things is he can only wave clear. Totally not real, intentional. He can wave clear with his ultimate, but with the static shiv, he can wave clear with basic attacks, which is really huge. It allows Ezreal to put a lot more pressure onto that map.
So Singed back to that top lane, just about half CS of nothing here right now. The ultimate, they clear bottom. They feel quite safe, and they'll back after this. So nothing here is going to get a good push on that. We look around the board, at 87 to 58 CS in mid. Katarina's not terrible at farming at the turret, but if you're just getting shock blasted every time, it makes it a little bit more difficult.
And the blue buff spam coming from eHamda has been really, really effective for him. I gotta say, the right choices here. I'm expecting him to get a tier of the goddess. That's kind of what all the other guys have been doing, but maybe he's got something else up his sleeve. And really overall, once this turret goes down, this would be the first kind of mini edge that's actually accumulated for Azure Gaming, because it's been a low action game, but this is close.
Yeah, we just broke that gold lead. It looked really good. Salad Bar was coming in with those strong attacks in the beginning. Oh, wow, Demon Lol going very hard and impactful here. If they can get in with that, they do flash, go for the ignite, the silence. He gets the true shopper off just in time, and he won't be able to clean up this kill. A great ulti from Nunu. Bloodwater and Demon Lol pulling in too. Uh-oh, here comes Ghost Zero, tries to flash right by Nunu, and he's doing the job perfectly. Peeling Ghost Zero right back off of Ezreal, gets himself in the ult, but here comes Amumu. Will he try to help? The ultimate goes down, and he saves the bandage toss for possible escape here. It's going to be a flash towards Demon Lol, though. Remember, Lambo still has that toss. It's not enough time, and he goes down, Katarina to clean up Jarvan. It's just so back and forth.
That was a really ugly fight in a lot of ways as it continues up top. I don't know if DJ Lambo's going to be able to get Hamda, but slow people coming into the fights, and now this is going to be an interesting chase for Hamda. I don't think he's getting out of this one.
Oh, Hamda, there it is. He wasn't looking. He was doing a little window shopping at first. There's the initiate attack and the finalizer. Shoutster picks up another one. They are getting that Katarina snowball.
That fight all started with Demon Lol and Bloodwater kicking off that one.
Yeah.
Those are honestly the two most known, kind of strongest players on this team. They both come from pretty good organizations. Bloodwater from CLG Black and Demon Lol from Team Legion. Obviously, we told that story of Demon Lol not really playing for the past 3 months. Focusing on finishing high school, getting good grades, but it appears, you know, a lot of his Ezreal mechanics could still be there. He is 1 and 2. It's going to be tricky, but that kill in particular, he showed well.
Yeah, like riding a bike. Really played the kiting well, and props to Bloodwater as well for just hitting all the spells correctly to keep that kite down. We are moving around 107 CS on MF to 99 of Ezreal, but he does have that Bloodthirster, and he's already stacking more damage. Looks like MF is trying to rush that Black Cleaver right away.
And that'll be really big for them. All of them AD champions. So
yeah,
when the Black Cleaver was really OP, everyone was rushing it on everyone and just building nothing of those. But since it's been nerfed down, we've seen a lot less of it. A lot of these guys are starting on the Brutalizer, then going into a Bloodthirster, and then kind of going Last Whisper, and not even really worrying about the Black Cleaver. But in this particular instance, Black Cleaver is a team utility item for Misfortune. She fully debuffs the enemy team in 1 second because the damage of that ultimate procs 4 times per second. So if he can get that done quickly, their team fights will be incredibly potent once they lock people up in that Jarvan jail.
You know, we see something as well, Katarina taking a little bit of damage in mid, is that when you can't get an Amumu with that MF, it's very common you'll see the Jarvan. It's still a way to lock people into that area and get the ultimate into a very effective position.
As we see them trying to shove up mid and Amumu camp the lane bottom, It's an interesting thing. Oh, there's the hook.
Bloodwater grabbed in. Max range on that one, but I don't think they were ready to fully initiate on it. Kind of looked like Ninja Salad didn't want the grab initially. And there's Lambo. Lambo could throw it on the ultimate. No, they turn it. They take him. And Impactful's forced to run off after ultimate.
Enough skill shots are landed, and the hook is a hook of death because he hooked in some trouble as they were bringing the Amumu ult into them. That was unfortunate for them, but he kind of wanted to get back to, there's not time. They're pushing up mid.
Yeah, they are going strong up mid as they drop the turret in the bottom lane. They're trying to put some pressure on it. You can see Katarina can't even get into her own lane. Lambo trying to make his way up top to stop that siege. Hamda just playing the fierce Jason middle right now. Goes 0 right on his backside. You can see him just coming in with those Moby boots. They tried to initiate on this. Yes, almost another one here. Both teams kind of initiating when they don't want to. And it looks like they back off.
It's a bit of a miscommunication there. I don't know what DJ Lambo really had planned. He was like, let's go! Wait, it's like a 2v2 and you're kind of low. Let's walk away now. And they let him because they were afraid of the Mumu ult. So both teams, not enough information, and they both had to back away.
Oh, the chase, the dodge. Great job there. He turns around and he tries to get out of this one, but it may be just too much damage. There's one to fall. Ninja Salad the focus. Bloodwater takes one final shot. They do grab one, but a double kill for Ez. He's 4-2 now.
That's going to be huge for them. Getting Demon Low fed is big. Ezreal is one of the most troublesome AD carries once he gets going because he's just so hard to close onto. Ghost Zero could try to trap him in that Jarvan jail, but he's got pretty good ways of hopping out of that with that Essence Flux. So
yeah, they're giving him blue buff right away, too.
And the mid pushing up. I don't know if they're going to be able to stop this with two members dead. Ghost Zero already at half health. They're starting to lose control of this game a little bit.
Good push coming into that middle turret. They're going to be able to drop that, opening up major parts of the jungle for invasion now. They have so much better setup. Trying to go for that rupture, but he didn't know he had the bush ward and he threw it out of his own attack. Really just in that top lane. He's only down by 30 now.
Yeah.
Only down. That's still a lot, but he's over 10.
Look who's back in the game. 40 CS difference between him and nothing here, but it's a lot better than 7, in all honesty. He's picked up an immense amount of farm since Demon Law has started to roam around, but the only problem with that is Demon Law left that lane at like 0-2. Yeah. Now he's 4-2 as it's taken Hirshin that long to farm back up.
Yeah, I like the choice of Rod of Ages as well. It's going to help him, you know, just get some help when he won't be able to buy it, because he's still going to have a very slow game. This is almost out of the laning phase. Turrets are going down, so they're going to have to find this money from fights. It's coming a lot slower.
And they're going to have to get this fight money fairly quickly. I'm not sure kind of how they're going to be able to do it, because Amumu's the one who basically decides how these fights happen. If they do anything, the Dragon hasn't been taken in quite some time, but using that bullet time to clear waves basically tells them, yeah, look at the ping. Immediately, they might just go for the Dragon because they know MF ult's down.
There's 2 wards going down. They have it to clear that. The pink ward on the Dragon. They're going to set this up, see if they can get some movement through their wards now out of Salad Bar, and they're going to find out where they are. They're kind of pulling them out of the woodwork here. Still that push by Cho'Gath top singed. Finally forced to go with his team, but it looks like he'll actually have to stop that himself as he starts heading up.
So a very, I'd say, curious game has come out so far. There's been a lot of somewhat sloppy, disorganized fights. It doesn't seem like these teams have the most secure strategies. And Azure's playing like a team who picked up an AD carry 2 days ago, right? Like, they don't seem to have the synergy quite there yet. And across the board on the Salad Bar, you know, they're playing like a team that's off rolls a little bit, so they both really have to pick it up if they want to maintain in this tournament, I'd have to say.
So let's look at the jungler's choice here. They're kind of milling about Dragon. May have to dip into this fight. But Amumu going for the Philosopher's Stone, not choosing to go for a Spirit Stone of any choice or health, but he went for the Sunfire Cape instead and didn't finish the Golem Stone. What's the choice there?
That's a choice of saying you're going to get health regen if you upgrade your Spirit Stone.
Right.
But you're getting a health regen for Philosopher's Stone as well, and gold per 10. You get slightly less. It's honestly just a preference choice. If you're going to go for the Tenacity upgrade of the Spirit Stone into the Golem Stone, it's probably a good choice as well. I've seen Amumu's do both, and I'm not really decided on which one's better yet.
And they have the siege down onto the mid turret here. We'll have to see what Lambo can do for his team. Like you said, Jack, he is the one to depict the initiations. Looks like they say, let's take it calm for now. He's kind of actually taking quite a bit of damage from that poison here. They got to be sure not to get poked. Nothing here is out of position, but he has quite a bit of health, and that's not something they want to focus. They find Hirshin, and they will use that low level, not low level, but low farm to his advantage. The fight goes in, Katarina focusing one, but it looks like Shouster could have himself out of position here. He gets jumped on and taken down. A few drop at the same time, and it's Salad Bar going for the run now as Azure chasing them down.
That was a good initiation by DJ Lambo on Amumu, and everyone else was able to follow up. They put enough pressure on Impactful's Misfortune that he wasn't able to channel the MF ultimate. He actually died the instant he started trying. But the poke from Jace is actually going to try to stop him from getting this Dragon. But here's the new Cho'Gath. I don't see him being able to get this.
No way. We talked about that feast, that consume earlier, and it looks like, bam, goes down. Jace tries, and it looks like Ninja Salad may as well, trying to attempt to stop. They lose one and get Dragon, or they gain one and get Dragon, I should say.
So now 30,000 to 25,000. That's 6/5 of their gold.
Yep.
Yeah, quick math fraction. I couldn't get the percent, so I decided to go and divide by 6. But how are they going to come back from this? Because they really need Misfortune. I guess I should tell you how they come back from this as the analyst. But Misfortune needs to be able to channel an ultimate. I'd say when DJ Lambo lands his Amumu ult, that's when Impactful has to put the MF ult down, because everyone wants to fly in and just dogpile onto an Amumu ult. That's when you catch them in the bullet time. It's funny how Misfortune works with the Amumu in the same way that Misfortune works against Amumu.
Yeah, that's awesome. Very cool point to make. You know what? Well, watch that happen the next time too. Make sure we just gotta have that on Misfortune if the fight is applicable for her to just be ulting on that Curse of the Sad Mummy. A lot of gathering here in mid. Dragon was just taken down, so there's no real objectives but waiting for the other team to make that mistake right now.
And there's a lot of mistakes in this game.
Yeah.
In all honesty, like normally you'd say, well, a team like X wouldn't make mistakes in these situations, but I'm not so sure on Azure Gaming right now. And I'm not trying to rag on these guys too hard, but they literally did pick up an AD carry 2 days before the event, so it's a matter of coordination, and they're not there. If anything, this team will gel throughout this game, and you're seeing that. I mean, Demon Law almost seems to be getting his legs back as the game progresses, and they seem to be picking up and having a good lead, but they're going to still be prone to those errors.
You just see the mind of Hamda. He wants to get that poke in all the time. They have pretty significant, not significant poke, but they have good poke. They can get some shots in there, double up, as well as that shock blast from Jace over and over and over. Great dodge again by Hamda. They're going to back out. They realize a little bit low on mana for Jace and Ghost. They're going to clear up their jungle chat. They have some lanes to push here. But like I said, no objectives yet. They do have some pings down. They have great ward coverage just all the way across. There's like a crescent across the top side of the map there.
And as they siege down this mid turret, I kind of want to look at some of their items. The Aegis of the Legion being completed onto Bloodwater is really huge from them. That's the first real aura item. The counter aura, even though it's not an aura, but the counter team item from the Salad Bar would be the Black Cleaver. Because MF helping all the physical damage dealers is going to be fairly great for them. But just the gold leads, the fact they have the Sunfire Cape on Amumu, the huge amount of health stacking on Nothing here, the double buffs and soon to be Infinity Edge coming in from Demon Law is going to be really huge the next time they group up for a team fight.
A lot of backing going on here from the Salad Bar, but there's no pressure coming from Azure. This is kind of the part where they're like, I think they know they've been making mistakes and nobody wants to make one here. This is big. The next fight, if it's an ace, means Baron.
Yeah, the death timer's going up and up, damage going up and up, Baron being up for about 7 minutes.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right about this. These teams, a little gun shy. They're not trying any kind of split push tactics, and they're not putting on a huge amount of pressure. They're almost just all grouping up mid and hoping something happens. We know that the Salad Bar is going to be up there.
All right, guys, and if you're just joining us here from the other stream, the Salad Bar versus Azure Gaming, and it looks like we are going to be 12-6, 23 minutes into this one, ladies and gentlemen, about 5,000 gold lead. If you were wondering, if you hadn't watched it, yes, Team Marn made it through that first game with a win, so we'll have to see what they can do throughout the rest of the tournament, but right now, these two.
In all honesty, Team Marn winning that game is really huge because that would be the first team that would potentially move on from the online qualifiers, and that could be very exciting. But to this game, those of you just joining us, it's been an actually fairly slow affair with Azure Gaming slowly accumulating this games in this lead. And what's been a sloppy game, now they've picked up an Oracles, trying to force something happening, DJ Lambo clearing out wards. We're going to see some kind of conclusion, I think, fairly quickly. Yeah,
this is exactly what Kobe called, we were on the other stream, the Baron Boogie. They're getting that Oracles, they clear out the wards, and they're ready to just position for it. They're trying to get that spot on the backside of Baron. They have a lot of gap closers to get themselves in, as well as the objective control we talked about earlier, Smite, Feast, and Consume.
I like the Baron Boogie.
Baron Boogie,
yeah, and they got excellent kill secure on the Baron buff as well. They'd have to be very careful going in against Jace and MF Poke if they want to corner themselves in that Baron pit, but they have a lot of forward wards, so they would be able to see the Salad Bar coming from a long ways away as they start on this Baron. I'd expect them to go for this as long as they don't think the Salad Bar's in range. And if the Salad Bar comes in, they're going to try to peel. Flashes up on Amumu. That would be how they start the fight. This is going to be some action soon.
Here it goes, Jat. Baron is down to about 5,000 health. They are making the move on the fight. It looks like they flash out. Curse of the Sad Mummy goes down. Hiroshin is off and running with Singed, and here comes E Honda from the side. It looks like the focus is on to Demon Law on the left side of the map there, but it's going to be Ghost Hero going down first. DJ Lambill also finds himself on the ground. No more resets for Katarina, and Baron is just watching everybody punch each other in the face here. Demon Law shifts out again, kiting Ninja Salad, takes him down. The True Shot Barrage across the fight, and Azure Gaming picks up the Baron dance.
Demon Lull, after the Baron Boogie triple kill off of his couch a couple of weeks ago and into a 10-2 Ezreal game. Awesome team fight there. It was looking really dangerous for Azure because the Amumu ult landed, nobody closed on to Impactful, and he got a full bullet time off, so everyone was shredded for the duration of that fight, but they were able to pull off through that 6,000 gold lead now. They did come out of that 3 for 2. They didn't get the Baron, so not the perfect outcome for them, but it's still another gain of their lead.
Absolutely amazing. I think the blue buff's still on Ezreal. I think he has double buff right now, and it just allowed him to get around the fight. Chat, let's check out how that went down again.
Yeah, and you can see right here, as they're going in for the initiation, the flash ult hits, they try to rupture, but they flash out of it. The big thing about that, the MF landed, everyone was shredded. So many people in this fight got away with slivers of health, but keep your eyes on Demon Law at the top of your screen. No one gets to Ezreal, and he just cleans up. No one can do damage to him enough at this time. They exhaust him, they knock him up into the air, but he's just too mobile. The Blood Boil, the slows from Blood Water just kill everybody there. Blood Boil and Blood Water.
There's a lot of blood, and there is a dragon. More blood being spilled as the objectives are taken down. 39,000 to 32,000. 7,000 gold is definitely becoming quite the deficit. Usually around 5, you're like, the tide could be turned at any point. 7's kind of creeping up there. They got to be careful about these item completions and when they're fighting.
Yeah, 7,000 gold, at least at this point in the game. It's all about the percentages, in all honesty. This is pretty much the same percentage lead they've had for quite a while now, but because of the time of game, the items they're increasing by a heck of a lot more, and the fights are becoming more and more impactful as we carry on here. And the biggest gold disadvantage I need to point out here is 11,000 gold on a Demon Law. The next highest on the Salad Bar, 7,700. So he's got a 3,500 gold advantage on everyone, and he's wearing double buffs, which is it's a good outfit. It's classic.
10 of the team's 16 kills, and he's participated in 14 of all of them. All of them.
He's 14 of the 60.
Yeah, I'd say all of them. That's good. 40,000 now. That 7,000 gold lead, as we were just talking about here at 28 minutes, does mean a little bit more. That Infinity Edge, the Black Cleaver, and the Bloodthirster kind of matches up. It's got to be careful, but it's got to be in the ultimate, so they have to make sure they hit everything right. The Salad Bar wants that one good initiation, the Jarvan ult into MF, and they're really going to be able to turn things around. They had it last time, but there's just too much kite, too much runaround.
So here's round 2 of the Baron bait. Salad Bar being much more cautious about the way they go in there, that Jarvan flag, scouting it out. Big thing about this one here, though, is nothing here in the bottom lane. He's completely alone. He's got his teleport up, so the Salad Bar coming in. Teleport coming, fight happens.
There it is, Bloodwater. The True Shot Barrage actually passes through the Salad Bar, and they didn't expect a giant Cho'Gath coming through. There's the Katarina ultimate. Death Lotus takes down, actually, Blitzcrank. E-Hamda is the next to follow, and you could just see it is Team Salad Bar on the ground. Azure Gaming going for the Baron.
All props to Demon Lull as he gets another triple kill in that fight. You see in lane, Ezreal can counter Blitzcrank by Arcane shifting out of his hook. Demon Lull did that mid-team fight, completely saving his tail, allowing the team to pick up that ace, gets the second triple kill for himself and a Baron. That was some amazing reaction time by Demon Lull.
You know, and in the last fight, too, the replay we had, he actually shot a Mystic shot and knew he didn't have to dodge the fist that was coming at him because of the death of Blitzcrank happening before it came. He just stood there and he was like, yeah, that passed through me.
Just take it.
It passed through me. I knew it wasn't going to hit me. He just, like you said, knows his mentality is on the game. Maybe hanging out on the couch for a few weeks helps.
No, you take Math 12 and History and you're just ready to play Ezreal. I mean, you could play Explorer Ezreal.
Mobile Fire.
Well done, History.
Sounds like a Mobile Fire build. Math and History?
That didn't work very
Ezreal
well.
works.
All right. I'm lost.
So we have Ninja Salad pushing up, Impactful, and E-Honda. They're just really trying to get these lanes pushed out so they can fight again in mid. team fight comps pretty much coming into fruition here for Azure Gaming, and we're seeing it.
Yeah, the biggest thing here is they don't have a way of getting onto Demon Low. And that's, you don't see these games as frequently since Season 3, where the AD carry just kind of takes over and becomes this unstoppable force.
Yeah.
There's so many kind of crazy assassins, Kha'Zix jumping in and one-shotting people, or, you know, Jace even poking down. Just, we haven't seen many AD carries take over, but this is an example of Demon Low taking hold of this entire game. Obviously, he has a lot of support. The Amumu setup is amazing. The fact that Bloodwater is giving him the blood boils and amazing peels throughout this entire game, can't take that away from him, but it's just making him unstoppable. Now 5 members pushing up mid with the Baron buff. The Salad Bar pretty much has to fight right now.
The Super Cho'Gath there. He actually, Lambo is forcing that fight you're talking about, chat. And the MF ult is not doing as much as it should. He still has about 20% of his HP, and they are just cleaning up TSB inside their base. Go Zero, Ninja Salad, both falling down. Katarina getting a few
So you
resets.
get the pentakill?
That could be the pentakill.
Oh!
No, he goes down by the hands of
There it
Jace.
is.
Yes, he does find it, and that doesn't suck, ladies and gentlemen.
Demon Low with the Penta, just as we're saying, he's taking the team and putting it on his back. He destroys them down. All credit to High School for preparing him for this moment.
Guys, this has been an absolutely amazing game. Azure able to take out this first matchup of the day. The